sunny day at Wembley after all the bad weather. The crowd can see them too. And you notice straight away that Peter Taylor is leading out Nottingham Forest. Where is Brian Clough? Well, they always tend to cause a surprise or two, those couple of incredible characters. And for the first time, the manager not leading out his Wembley side. It's his right-hand man, Peter Taylor, who gets the honour. Brian Clough, who led Forest out here last year for the League Cup final. I suppose, as he would say it, let my mate do it now. And unnoticed almost by the crowd, there's the man you might have expected would have been leading out Nottingham Forest today. It's Brian Clough. So let's check on the two teams for this afternoon's final. First, Nottingham Forest. Brian Clough delayed his choice until yesterday. He had to rule out the England defender Viv Anderson, not recovered from injury. Kenny Burns not quite ready. And Trevor Francis ineligible. But Colin Barrett, who missed last year's final through injury, is back. Only his second game since he was injured early in the season. Otherwise, the faces and the names are now well known. Meanwhile, the Southampton manager, Laurie McMenemy, fields the team that beat West Bromwich Albion in the FA Cup last Monday. It's a decision that gives Austin Hayes a Wembley place after only 6 first-team games this season. Some contrast to Alan Ball playing his 32nd game in this stadium. The substitute, Tony Seeley, only included in the squad on Tuesday, but he's been doing well in the reserves, yet to play a full game in the first team. But here is Austin Hayes, only 5'6" tall, a London boy. Quite a day for Southampton when he joined them, because the same day Steve Williams, the skillful young midfielder, also joined, and the pair have shared the same digs in Southampton ever since. It's the same sort of fairy tale for Forest Gary Birtles. Didn't force his way into the first team until September. Since then he scored 17 times. He links up now with Tony Woodcock. After a fairly barren season, Tony got back amongst the goals on Wednesday night with 2 against Norwich. Meanwhile, in the background, putting pressure on the striker is Trevor Francis, that £1 million man, not eligible for this final, so he sits it out.
Leyland Trade, sponsors of Daytime on ITV4.
So here we go, Southampton in a chain strip of yellow with blue shorts, attacking the goal to our right. It's the same colour strip they used when they won the FA Cup against Manchester United in '76. Nottingham Forest in red with white shorts. And Peter Shilton with the first touch of this new football to be used in the league next season, white with a red band around it, so that it's easy to see in all conditions, say the Football League. And incidentally, it will only be manufactured by British companies. Lloyd whacking that one away, and that's going to go for a goal kick. The pitch is in remarkably good condition after so much bad weather over the last few days. Golak with the throw, Ball playing it back to him. Oh, Golak playing it in nice and firmly again to Ball. Williams now trying to switch it wide, but it's an offside. The flag on this side is up against Curran. It's an amazing turnaround since they won the Cup, Southampton, in '76. Only 2 remain from that side. David Peach is one, and Nick Holmes, number 10, is the other. Woodcock ducking in there, playing it wide now for Robertson. Crossed in well towards Birtles. Well saved. Well, Robertson certainly showed what he was made of there, and the threat that he could cause Southampton down that left flank. Crossing that ball in well, it was Birtles who got up, and Geno who got down well. Peach now. I thought for a moment he might have misjudged the pace of Birtles there. Well, there's a fair bit of talent on that bench today. Nottingham Forest on the right, as you can see, and Southampton on the left. And you might have noticed the familiar figure of Freddie Starr there behind the Southampton bench. And a little bit of a skirmish going on there as to whose throw it should be, and Alan Ball believing it should be Southampton's. But it's Nottingham Forest, and there's O'Neill. Oh, he skinned Peach there. Can he do the same against Holmes? David Peach played on for Alan Ball. McGovern's after him, but Ball has already released it for Boyer. And looking for it back again. Oh, gave that away though. Birtles now to Archie Gemmell, past Alan Ball. And the ball played just that little bit too firmly by Gemmell, but what a piece of play by him. The way he went past Alan Ball and really attacked that Southampton back line. Hayes to Boyer. Holmes in behind him. That's the pass for Nick Holmes. Boyer again. Peach waiting for it now. Peach getting it. Right foot perhaps. No. Alan Ball. Played in there. Now for Peach. And a goal! David Peach. They're looking around for offside. The linesman kept his flag down. And Southampton have worked a superb goal by David Peach with 16 minutes gone. Here he is, Peach, who started it. Played in here for Alan Ball. And goes on his run. Onside when the ball was played. Good decision by the linesman. Round Peter Shilton. Right foot into the back of the net. And Nottingham Forest 0, Southampton 1. David Peach, the man who never seems to fail from the penalty spot, has now got, well, a real genuine goal. And what an important one it could be. Frank Clark. Birtles. Well, the big man not showing any emotion, but that's a tremendous start for Southampton. The underdogs here, certainly so far as the bookmakers are concerned. And Brian Clough was suggesting that coming here as favourites could be an added burden. Last year he was quite happy to be the underdogs when they were here against Liverpool, but now there's a fight on their hands, all right. Here's Woodcock. Clark playing it in for Lloyd. Here's Waldron. Now Boyer. And now Austin Hayes. Curran. Holmes is loose on this side. If Curran can hoist one far enough, Boyer's in there. And Holmes was almost in there. What a brave and a good piece of goalkeeping by Shilton. Well, they thought Holmes would be a danger man, and as Curran lifted that one in there, Boyer nearly got what could have been a decisive touch there. Holmes was there too. Look at that brave bit of keeping. So with the score halfway through the first half, Southampton leading 1-0, David Peach the scorer. John Robertson, surprised they haven't fed him a little more than they have in this opening half. At one occasion when he went past Golak and got in across for Birtles, but that's not been given a chance to have a repeat. McGowan working it forward here for Birtles. Now Robertson, but very deep indeed. In fact, it's David Peach's goal is the first one in the League Cup final for a couple of seasons. A 0-0 between Villa and Everton here, a 0-0 between Forest and Liverpool last season. And a corner now for Forest, which John Robertson will take. David Needham and Larry Lloyd deep into that Southampton penalty area. Now Robertson, a lovely little cross and a deep one towards O'Neill. But Peach had got close enough to him to prevent him having a good clear header. And Ball saying well done to Golak, or at least maybe giving him a little bit of advice, because they must curb the threat of John Robertson down that left. Peter Reeves showing signs of having a good game himself. He's letting enough go to suggest that he wants it to be a spectacle. Ball. Peach. Hayes. Ball again. Very confined space, but he did so well to find David Peach. Holmes playing it in again towards Austin Hayes. Ball wanting it back again and getting it onto the byline. And a good cross by him towards Boyer. Oh, my word, and Boyer did well to chest it down, and it was charged away in the end by Clark. A lot of skill in that little bit of play, though, by Southampton, by Ball and by Boyer. And here come Forrest. Larry Lloyd. Woodcock. Out of play. Southampton throw. Coming up to the half-hour mark. Curran getting past Clark. And now Needham robbing him there. And as the referee allows it to go on, he has a quick word of warning in passing to Curran for leaving his foot out there as Needham took possession. Ball now for Southampton. Here's Curran again. And Williams, a tremendous run outside him. And the cross coming off Larry Lloyd for the corner. A corner won for Southampton by a brilliant piece of running by Steve Williams. Superb young midfield player, full of running. But always something to learn. And Alan Ball giving him a little bit of tuition there. They got Chris Nicol up on the line and Malcolm Waldron as Holmes takes this corner again for Southampton. Lloyd knocking it away. Boyer. Ball. Hayes stepping on it, but getting it back. Williams. Golak. Oh, a good piece of play by Golak. Now a chance for Curran. Looking for a good, accurate cross. Waldron's header, no trouble for Shilton. Local Southampton boy, Malcolm Waldron. Played on that time by Robertson for Birtles. Played for Woodcock. Is this the equaliser? Well, Peach was across there when it could have been dangerous. And Peach, I must say, is having one of those days when he can do no wrong. As Birtles brought that in now for Woodcock. Just look at Peach getting in there. Birtles playing it off for McGovern. Robertson being forced back and needing a bit of skill to find Barrett. O'Neill now. Holmes committed himself, and here's McGovern. A touch for Robertson, a good ball by Robertson now for Martin O'Neill. Oh, what a bad finish. Geno with the kick. Nice backward header by Williams. Here's Lloyd. Woodcock touching it in for Birtles. Played in now for Gemmell. And again, David Peach. And he finishes it off by turning it away. Goal scorer and twice the saver of what could have been equalisers by making really brilliant interceptions. Robertson being forced back again, but still determined to get his cross in. Waldron getting it away to Boyer. Southampton might have a few up now. No, they couldn't turn it to their advantage. A little touch there from Gemmell. And Gemmell again with Woodcock outside him. This could be dangerous now for Southampton. No, it's not. And the ball finally just going inching out of play there for a Forest throw. Well, Gemmell knows he's got to raise his game still further. My word, he never stops running, but he's got to run to even greater purpose now. This goal down against Southampton. Curran right the way back there. Played for ball. Tried to get it on for Curran, but it didn't come off. Gemmell shrugging off all comers, and then he's brought down by Alan Ball. The two mighty midgets in the middle. Oh, and Gemmell freed from that free kick by Clark. And Chris Nichols' header getting it away in a really crowded Southampton penalty area. Williams helping it on for Boyer. And O'Neill bringing down Boyer. And Boyer, you saw from his expression, not happy with the Irishman's way of stopping him. Southampton a moment ago very nearly caught out by that quickly taken Forest free kick. O'Neill. Now 1 against 1 here. If Woodcock can make something of this against Waldron, then back it'll go to Geno. Terry Geno, 26 years old yesterday. Golak played in for Curran, played on by Holmes for Curran to give it a chase again, and Lloyd knocking it off the winger there into touch. Another Forest throw. Quick look at the watch from Laurie McMenemy, you may have noticed there. About a minute and a half to go to half-time. Woodcock jockeying to find a yard and find it for Robertson. Come for Frank Clark now. And again Peach is in there, but there was a foul on Frank Clark by Nick Holmes. And a free kick for Nottingham Forest as we come to half-time. There's the wall being lined up. That's Terry Geno's view of it. Now Robertson and Clark behind it. I imagine it'll probably be Robertson who might well try and lift it to this side. Indeed he has. They all go in there. And O'Neill with a chance to turn it back, and that might go anywhere, and in the end, oh my word, O'Neill, my word, no, it didn't in the end. Well, that was an incredible sequence of events. No wonder Geno looked a bit relieved there, and a bit concerned as well. Off the top of Chris Nichols' head, and it's really whacked in here by Martin O'Neill. Could have gone anywhere, and now it comes off the head of David Needham there. Back to O'Neill again, and scrambled wide of the post. Now it's Archie Gemmell on the break for Nottingham Forest. Battles playing it inside again there. Williams' header getting a bit of height on it. McGovern trying to make something of it. O'Neill's right in there. Will it come for Forest now? It was Holmes who hacked that away when it began to look most dangerous for Southampton. Good spell this for Nottingham Forest, the best they've had. In from Robertson. Bartles almost shoved off that ball, it seemed, as he tried to get a header in there. And Southampton get it away again with ball. Play down for Hayes. And back it goes to Shilton. We're into time added on for stoppages as the half-time whistle goes, with Southampton leading to the goal by David Peach. Beautifully worked by him. But it wasn't only Peach's goal scoring, it was his defence as well that has been such a contribution for Southampton. The biggest contribution of all, though, coming inevitably from that man in the middle of the field, Alan Ball, who's been everywhere, cajoling and arguing with his teammates and making sure they keep on the right track. A tremendous solo performance by him that has given, and not even at half-time is he going to stop talking. Tremendous performance by him, and now the talking has got to start from Brian Clough and from Laurie McMenemy, who must be well pleased with the way that his side has come here, taken on the favourites, and at the moment is beating them by 1-0. So as the bands go on and the players come off, we leave you just for a few short moments. The half-time score then, Nottingham Forest 0, Southampton 1. We'll be back with the second half.